Do you mind
4,
just-
yeah.
4, sorry. Could you
Okay.
just-
Would you like to clap, Joyce?
Oh, do you have to do it in any special way?
Just loud. Hello.
I'm Joyce Conway Evans, and this is my studio in Glebe Place in Chelsea.
And how long have you been here, Joyce?
I think it's just coming up to about 40 years.
40 years.
Quite a long time, but it's gone in a flash.
When do you know if something is finished? Do you have a clear picture?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I always know where I'm going with something.
And when it's overflowing, that's when it's
And when you
finished.
can't find space for anything else, it's probably finished. My drawing board under all these covers is something that I'm working on. This is work in progress under here.
Are we allowed to see it?
Not today, because it's not finished, and I don't believe in showing half-finished things. I love drawing at that scale, you see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really large. I like doing really large drawings, really large details. The actual pleasure of indulging in a big, juicy drawing. Nothing like it. I do enjoy looking round antiques very much. You can learn a lot, I think, and you absorb more than you think about, in a way. You sort of draw, you don't realise how much you're absorbing until you realise that you're working with a memory of some kind.
And the smell of the place must have been great as well.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. So much.
My
How right you
grandma
are.
tells me that you come into the office every day, get a jar of glue and go, I'm ready.
Well,
Every day.
Sir Hugh used to come in and with a large red spotty handkerchief over his
So
face.
Hugh Casson, this is.
Oh, you've been spraying again. We mostly did work to historic buildings, one of which was the Albert Hall, and we were next door to that. Well, at the time Sir Hugh took the job on, it's now a long time ago, it was just before its centenary. And at the time it was painted in, do you know what I mean by Wedgwood jasperware? It's blue china with white relief on it. And all the balcony fronts were this pale blue and white. And Sir Hugh immediately said, well, it's not strong enough to support the building. All the wrong colours. So we went in and we did all sorts of painting experiments. And we ended up with what is there now in a lovely sort of golden glaze with a sort of toffee colour inside the boxes, lovely red curtains, red upholstery, and it's still there. And in fact, that cushion on the chair downstairs, you see the red cushion down there with the little pattern on it, the very old stick-back chair.
Yes, I see.
That is a piece of the Albert Hall carpet that I designed. And I love beach huts. I love the life of a beach hut. We always had one when we went on holiday as children to Frinton. And the beach hut was the main bit of the holiday. We spent all our days there. You were talking about smells earlier, and the moment I think of a beach hut, I think of those little methylated spirit stoves you used to boil a kettle on.
Right.
Tiny little stove. And that's what we used to make cups of tea in the beach hut, with a little spirit stove. And so meths comes to mind the moment you mentioned that. It's a very good smell. And I just got rather intrigued, and I started at the top and didn't take the pencil off. I just went on drawing triangles, and he was about sort of 10 inches high, I suppose. And then I thought, really, he'd make a rather marvellous statement there, because there was a vacant space. It needed filling with some jolly colour.
And you can't have any empty space.
No, I don't like empty spaces. I find them very frightening and very daunting. But I enjoy him every day because he makes me feel happy.
Joyce, have you ever thrown anything out?
No.
Not one thing?
Oh, I suppose I have. But it's against my rules, really, to throw things out because, you know, the moment it's gone, you need it for something, don't you? I need things to look at all the time and to enrich what I'm thinking about. And what is here and the arrangement of things gives me a great deal of pleasure and a great deal of inspiration, and often triggers thoughts which, in a very organised, practical space, it would be very hard, I think, to be creative because you've nothing to draw on. I really survived school with the idea that, well, things could only get better because I'd go to art school, it would be wonderful. And when I got there, it was wonderful, and I've loved it ever since.
And you sort of just continued doing
There was never anything else in my mind. I just wanted to go to art school. And it was even more marvellous than I thought it could be. It was wonderful, loved it.
That's so lovely.
And it's given me the happiest life, really. It's given me a wonderful life.
Do you want to clap as well? So,
Do you want to do that one more time, quite loudly?
really.
Hi, I'm Ellen and I've been here for a year and a little bit.
What's the name of the studio?
It's an Acme studio and it's basically called Childers Street, which is the street that it's on. It is, I mean, one of my old tutors from Foundation came around and he just was like, I think he just felt like it was one of those beginning artist studios, you know, it's very basic, it's just a space. And it's dirty and cold, but it's exactly what I needed. I wanted to be able to go straight from uni into making my own work and not have that space as an issue, so yeah. That was something I did, is actually of the space, the corner of the space. I kind of feel like the space itself that you're working in does tend to have quite an impact on the sort of work you end up making.
Do you know that it's finished yourself?
It's funny, it's a question people always ask you.
Always ask you or artists?
Well, ask artists, like, how do you know when it's done?
Right.
You just know.
Do you ever come here and not do anything?
No. When I'm here, I find it very hard to stop, actually, and just not work. I don't take breaks and I don't really eat. I just, like, work solidly.
And then, do you not get really cold up?
Oh, yeah, no, you get used to it. It's part of being a young artist in a cheap studio. This is just work that I've been doing, and it's just I've been trying to find ways of storing my work somehow. It's all a bit of a mess.
Shelves.
I know, I need to make some shelves.
And then what about this next one?
It was actually half finished, and then my friend took her paints away, so I couldn't finish. I brought them in here with the intention of doing that when I had time, but I've only just got seating in here, so I've been working on 3 commissions. This one is a commission, and the other 2, one of them I've already sold to the woman, which was great. She was really happy.
She was happy?
She was so happy. It was such a relief. It's a strange place, art school, so yeah.
Strange in what way?
I don't know, I guess you just have so many preconceptions about what it's going to be like, and then it's never going to meet them, or it's never going to be like that. You learn a lot about yourself, and I think that's what's important, and other artists as well, so yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I did have a good time, but now I'm happy to be sort of away from that context. When we hit like modern art, and there was a point when anything could be art, which became really confusing, I think, for a lot of artists. And I think it's starting to kind of turn around a little bit now and become more I don't know, it's hard to describe. I guess it's only my own personal feeling.
Detailed, maybe?
There's just something about the direction that the art scene is going in. I feel like personally, I want to get back to that point where art sort of stands for something. Art has, has an importance in everyday people's lives. I don't know if that ever was a thing, but I'd like that to be something that I aim for. I've been thinking about it recently, and I don't know where I would be now if people hadn't encouraged me during my life. I think I would still be doing the same thing because it's just what fits for me. I've never found anything else that I've really wanted to do as much as this. So it makes sense to me to be doing this.